Cool. G'day guys, welcome to Empire cryptocurrency trading session or chill out session. This is the sixth round, sixth edition. So all of my recordings, I post them all on my YouTube, and then I take that URL and put it in the Empire chat. So if you wanted to see our previous stuff or any of my previous calls, go back to the page, like the public page on Facebook, search my name, and you'll come up with all of my posts. Scroll through and you'll see all the ones I post. Generally, I post it after, say, like the day after, usually the Monday, because I really want people to come along to these, like the live calls. A lot of people, like, you know, they love the recordings and everything, but I really want to incentivize people actually coming to the calls as opposed to just, you know, missing it and then just gotta wait for the recording anyway, you know. So I try and like push it back. Sometimes maybe Monday, Tuesday, I'll come out with a recording because I want to entice people to actually come online to the call, because what we are trying to do at Empire, what we've always tried to do is, generally speaking, the people that do that just intentionally miss it even though they can, and then they just go ahead and watch the recording anyway. Generally, they're the people who don't like to be on calls. They don't like to be the ones to ask questions, where that's what we're trying to eliminate, like in our community. You know, like there is no stupid questions. Anyone can come along and ask any question to anyone without any repercussions. You know, like it is like an inviting environment, and that's what we want to promote. So that's what we want to achieve, right? So if I can delay that a bit and then really entice people to come along to these live calls where they can ask us leaders and myself questions right live, like right face to face, it can actually answer the question for themselves. But anyone else who's on the call as well, who may have had that question come up, but, you know, been a bit too afraid to ask, I guess. So that's what we want to try and promote. We want to try and make this environment as inviting as we can to anyone and everyone, right? Cool. So last week was pretty good. Bitcoin saw some reasonable price action. In saying that, I think the dominance has still been on the rise. So altcoins haven't been quite, you know, they haven't been quite as good as just trading Bitcoin alone, purely for the fact that trading Bitcoin at the moment, while Bitcoin dominance is so high, generally it makes a lot more sense just to trade Bitcoin alone when it's in the state it is right now, because most altcoins against Bitcoin are actually decreasing in value. So I got a way to show that and visualize that, which I had recently found on TradingView. So I'll do that soon. But first of all, we'll just go into, well, actually, we'll just talk about the dominance. Let's just go straight into the dominance. All right, now if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, cool. Yes, so as you can see, let's get rid of this. This is what I was looking at earlier. Dominance has been on the rise for quite some time now. Generally, what happened when this happens, altcoins, either some of them will follow Bitcoin in its price action. So since the BTC has been in a positive price action, some altcoins have been moving with it positively. But generally speaking, the altcoins against BTC most of them have been decreasing in value. That means that Bitcoin is just taking over the market. More people are buying Bitcoin with their altcoins, and so more people are buying Bitcoin, and more people are actually selling their Bitcoins for selling their altcoins for Bitcoin. That's literally what that means. So when we look at this, we see obviously Bitcoin dominance just absolutely going on a tear. So usually when this happens, when Bitcoin's going up, like I said, some coins will follow, but most of the time, if some coins will follow, the alt BTC will actually be coming down, which means that the altcoin against USDT, so your trading futures pair, your spot pair, or whatever you want like the coin against USDT usually floats around that same level. Because if Bitcoin's going up, okay, so that's positive, but the alt BTC pair is negative, like going down, that positive and the negative, that sort of just eliminates each other and essentially makes it zero, right? So that means generally what I'm going to show you is altcoin USDT generally bounces around and doesn't really do much. There is a way to show that. I'll show you right now. Click on this advanced view. This is a new thing that I found out. So let's just pick. I have to actually not use this one. Hang on. To use this one. Just give me a sec to set this up. So you can pick whatever coins you want, but for me to show you easily, I'm just going to pick. We're just going to use AVE, AVE BTC. So I'm going to select AVE BTC, AVE USDT, and also Bitcoin just by itself, Bitcoin USDT. Right. So you come all the way down the bottom, and you can see with this in this chart here. Just have a look at it from this level here. Bitcoin has absolutely gone on a tear. So it's gone up from, let's just say, oh, there's no percent here. But you can visually see this blue line here. It's just gone crazy, right? But then you look at the AVE BTC pair, which has been absolutely just coming down and hasn't really stopped, and it doesn't look like there's any sign of stopping, has done the exact opposite. So when that happens, when Bitcoin's soaring, the alt BTC is coming down like this, generally that means the USDT pair is floating around doing nothing. I mean, you can visually see that here. So it goes to show the importance of the Bitcoin dominance and also the altcoin values, and why us traders, when we're trading futures on altcoins, we must look at the alt coin against Bitcoin. So that alt BTC chart, it just makes sense. There's no reason not to. And in saying that, the way that it has been in the past, I think it's been like 2 or 3 months, as Bitcoin dominance has been on a roll. Generally, you want to be really cautious on trading altcoins. There's a little bit more risk involved with them, but if you know how to trade, and once you develop your skills enough, you look at your futures pair, and then you also want to have a look at your pair against BTC, and then see if you can correlate the same sort of idea, and then that's when that can give you the confidence to go ahead and place that trade. Does everyone understand that? Can everyone visually see what I'm talking about here? Cool. So that was Bitcoin dominance. I really wanted to nail that quick. That's something I just found today. So the only other thing I'll look at here is the S&P 500. So with all the banks, with all the stuff happening right now, currently, with all the banks being bailed out, it's actually led to quite a lot of buying going on. Essentially, the Fed has just injected a lot of money back into the system, and what people have done and what the system has done is just, with that money, gone out and bought assets like stocks and that sort of thing. So we can visually see that that's what's happened here. It's looking pretty good. This line, downtrend line, is sort of not being respected anymore. So I'm almost inclined to just delete it. Because it doesn't really line up with it lined up with the analysis up until around this point, but after that it was just bouncing through and bouncing on it, and it didn't really have any interactions on that line anymore. So I'm comfortable with getting rid of that now. So but apart from that, I can't really see anything more, so I'm not going to go into any more detail. Next time, let's go to Bitcoin. So let me just delete this real quick. So does everyone hold Bitcoin? What coins do people hold?
As in current trades, or
yeah, well, no, just like spot trades. Yeah.
No, I don't. Haven't.
No, nothing. No coins.
No, not yet.
I'm holding Theta right now, just because I'm in a trade.
Theta was it?
Yeah, Theta.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's one that's always respected a lot of analysis for me, so I trade it pretty consistently, and that's why I'm holding it at the moment.
Yeah, that's actually you actually pointed out something really valid there. If you trade a coin and you seem to find a lot of success on that, just obviously you want to keep focusing on that. Like if there's a coin that, however your analysis works, whatever your plan is, if you find one coin very successful, then that should give you enough confidence to, whenever you have a system play out on the charts that matches your trade plan and your trading strategy, you should be a lot more confident in placing that trade. Because if you think that if you know for a fact that, oh man, I love this coin, I love trading it, like you feel like you're going to be successful in when you trade that coin, it's just going to make it a lot easier for you to do your analysis on it, because you already have that mindset, you already have that confidence and that positive mindset jumping in. So yeah, I mean, like that's really good to hear. Like if you find Theta really good to trade, then by all means just keep trading and then.
Absolutely.
Anyone else holding anything apart from Bitcoin?
Actually, Ethereum.
Oh yeah, obviously Ethereum. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to hold Ethereum. Going back onto talking about the Bitcoin dominance, generally when that starts tapering off, when that starts slowing down, generally you'll see Ethereum start taking up as well. So I'm talking about the ETH BTC chart. So after Bitcoin is coming up to the end of its dominance, generally how the whole process works is Bitcoin increases in dominance, and then once that caps out and rolls over, that flows into Ethereum, and then after Ethereum it flows into all the decent old coins, and then from there it flows through to all the shit coins essentially. So it's always safe to have Ethereum, especially coming up, since we're looking at Bitcoin kind of rolling over soon. So Ethereum is usually the first one to pick up the ball and take it to the next leg. So yeah, you put up a good point as well.
Do you find there's a trend with the money flow that's consistent between markets like shitcoins and NFTs, and then
so
alts
that was
stuff
what I was referring to just then, the money flow. So generally the money, like in times like these, in like very doubtful times like this, like it's a lot different now because there's a lot of stuff going on in the outside world, like the wars and the banks collapsing and that sort of thing. But generally speaking, the money flows from Bitcoin, then to Ethereum, then to ADA, BNB, all like the the really good, really well put together altcoins, and then from there, then it starts feeding down to like all the other sort of stuff, like the shit coins like Doge and all the rest of it, and possibly with your shit coins, you might have like all the like the gaming related ones, like AXS and stuff like that. But that's the sort of the flow. So like I said, like if we're looking at rolling over soon or slowing down on the Bitcoin dominance, we really want to be careful and watch what Ethereum's doing against Bitcoin, because that is generally the next mover. Once it rolls over, Ethereum gets hit next, and then after a certain amount of time, that's when that starts running out and rolling over, and then it flows into all the altcoins. But yeah, you're right. Alrighty, cool. So what can anyone tell me with this chart? Just basics, very basics. What can everyone see? I'm gonna need answers, otherwise I'm not giving these guys the answers. I need someone to. Let's go. What can we see?
You've got that breaker trend. It's retested it. It's come up. It's forming, I don't know, maybe an ascending wedge, sitting at resistance. And you've got bearish divergence on the CCI.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah, that was perfect, mate. It was perfect. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we pushed, I'll just scroll back out, go to the weekly. So yes, we've pushed out of this weekly resistance that I had drawn from our previous bear market rally before we come down even lower. So yeah, yep, we've pushed out, we've tested it, like you said. That also happened to be our 618 retracement as well. I went through this last time and I said that I would have really liked this level to hold here because I think this level was around that 50 level. And when you have breaks in trends, so, you know, you have a downtrend going into an uptrend, like at the very beginning, or if you have a uptrend going to, you know, rolling over to a downtrend at the very end, generally you want to see, like a good way to check momentum is in that first move. So in the first move that breaks trend, if it stops at the 382 or the 50, that to me is telling me that there's a lot of momentum in that move and it has still a ways to go, like multiple legs up. But the further you come down, so like it came down to the 618, it leads me to believe that there's not quite as much momentum in the move from that break-in trend. We can obviously see that, you know, we had a decent move up here, but had we had stop at the 50 or the 382, we could have been up much higher than what we are right now because the motivation would have been there to buy in if the levels of those levels held at the time. But since we come back all the way to the 618, it leads me to believe that there's not quite as much momentum as I initially thought there was going to be, considering this massive break in trend here. But here we are, like you said, it's looking kind of like a rising wedge. I think that's what you said, rising wedge.
Yeah, mate. Yep.
So if we go on, so we were just looking at the daily. So let's just get rid of this because that's nothing yet. So this was the last candle here that hasn't been recovered yet, which is why I've drawn that here, this box. So let's go to the 4 hour and see what's happened in the 4 hour. So we can see that this candle it has not been recovered at all. We had a wick all the way up, but closes, and in terms of closes, we haven't even, you know, gotten through much of it at all. Like you were saying, it's looking a bit like a rising wedge, something like that, maybe. I think I'm more seeing it right now is just sideways. It's really just, so let me just show you what I mean. It's really looking like this. So I'll just hide this so you can see it better. A bit of like a consolidation. It's hit a level and it's just consolidating. So you can see, you know, we're just gonna, it's looking like we're just gonna bounce around here. And like I said, it is the weekend, so it's to be expected. We are actually at the very top of this consolidation, if that's what we're referring to it as. So we might see a move down to this lower level here for Monday before market makers step in and send it in the direction that they want. So my expectations is we might come down, like we might do this on Monday, or we might do something like this where we come up but then smash back through. So just got to watch out for that. Generally on Mondays you see a lot of fake moves. So fake moves is like, you know, the market will send out a breakout or send out a breakdown, and then within the next day it is immediately reversed. On Mondays it's the most common because that's generally how market makers eliminate all the people who traded on the weekend, because market makers obviously don't trade on weekends. Us retailers do, and they like screwing us over. So that's just one way they can capitalize on that. So either scenario. I'm thinking I'm probably leaning towards actually the push upwards and the snap back down, but we need to wait till that happens. The thing that has me a little bit concerned is although we did it, wait, was it on the weekend? So we've done it on the weekend now. So whenever you hit a level, a crucial level, so this level here, this 28.4, whenever you hit a crucial level and you hit it 3 times, so we hit it once with a massive rejection, twice rejection, and 3 times with a bit of a rejection here, and then through the weekend we've gone up a little bit and then sort of just floated around the same. It's not really the best sign. Most of the time when you see legs that have come up to a crucial level, if that level has been met with 3 rejections and it on the 4th one it still cannot get over like that one designated level, then generally that means that the level is just too strong, and then that's when we see that reversal come in. If we look at it from the daily perspective, it's still done quite a significant run from 20k. So you might think, okay, cool. So where do we expect it to pull back to, or where can we expect buyers to be waiting to buy back in on this next leg that might happen if this reversal was to play out? So how would you determine that? Can anyone give me any ideas?
You could probably use the fibs on that bull flag looking thing.
Yep, exactly. So is this what you're referring to from this 618 retracement all the way up to this one?
Absolutely.
Yep. I would definitely do that. So that's what we can do, right? So seeing as this level from here, this level here, I'll get my thing out so you can actually see from this level to this level. This was a 618 pullback. So will we see one again? Well, let's find out. So I have some lines and some preset stuff already filled out. So that's where our 618 is. Let me just mark out all these other ones. Well, the other ones are actually lined up with this other daily level. So I'm actually, I'll put this one in just because. But our 382 looks like it's lined up pretty well with our horizontal resistance, or support now, sorry. So I'm actually just going to leave that there as is. Get rid of fibs now, don't need it. And I'm going to set this as the 618 and set this as the 50. So now when we go on our lower time frame, we can watch what happens in the next, well, Monday. So another thing I like doing, I've explained this on, let's get rid of this, explain this on multiple calls. One of the things I like doing is sort of anticipating or kind of predicting what sort of movements are going to be expected. Like I said, I've already talked about what are the options here, the possible options. But let's just say, like I said, come Monday, we float around and then we break up and come back down. Let's just assume, okay, hang on. This is the 4 hour, isn't it? Yeah, hang on. Let's just expect something like this to happen, come down, or something like this. Right, so that's going to take us to Tuesday afternoon. So if this was to happen, Tuesday afternoon, if this was to happen, we're looking at Monday afternoon. Right, so that gives me an idea. That tells me, all right, cool. Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon, I'm just going to come on, open up Bitcoin for 5 minutes, have a look and see exactly what price action did. And then once I can see what it's done against what I've said, that's when I can implement that idea and that move into the other coins that I'm looking at trading. So any of the altcoins I'm looking at trading. So that's one thing I like doing in trying to predict dates and times. It's a little bit harder in this instance specifically because obviously it is the weekend and it's in a consolidation pattern. So anything can really happen in this pattern. But obviously a break above or below these levels would be significant, and that would probably lead to the move. So if we break above, we might see quite high, we might have a move upwards, up possibly up to this 30K level here. Or if we come down below, it's looking likely that we might see this level down here, this 25K. Does everyone understand that?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So that's pretty much all I wanted to really talk about on for Bitcoin. One thing I will do actually is one little tip I'll actually share with everyone here is once you've done your analysis, so this is my Bitcoin chart. It's the same thing that I've had for a long time. It's the same chart. So if I was to go into the object tree, which is down the bottom right here, one of the things I like doing, especially after I've done my initial analysis, is just to have like a wider look and just to draw back to see exactly where we are and to get a better understanding of what might happen. So I'm just going to select the first one, the first tool, which is the last thing I did, the line. And I'm going to scroll down to this. And I've already made a folder here. But how to make a folder is you just right click on this and then you would just click on create a group of drawings. And then from there, you can put all these drawings into one folder. So I'll do that for you now. So we'll show you what it looks like. Put all that in there. So now what you can do is, since everything is in this one folder now, I can just hide everything just like that. Go out to the weekly and then look at the chart. So this is what I do generally. So I'm not gonna go through it now because it takes too long. But what I do every Sunday is that's exactly what I do. All the analysis goes into my folder, hide the folder. And then I just run through my analysis how I would do it. Okay, yep, I can just see, I'm just going to do this really quickly. Oh yeah, I can see, yep, we're definitely broken. And I would just do my analysis like I normally would. And then after it's all done and after I'm happy with it, I'm just going to go like this. And then just to see if it all lines up with all the same sort of stuff. So some weeks I might find, oh, I missed something, or I added in something that I didn't see before. It's always good to look back and reanalyze something like the same chart you're looking at. You seem to overlook certain things. So this method, this little tactic here, you can just hide everything, restart completely, and then see if anything in your analysis has actually changed over the course of time and however long you've had drawn those tools, the lines, support and resistance, and all those patterns and all that sort of thing. It's a good way for you to really see, like just to analyze it at a different level and then come back and see whether it's the same, you missed some things, you picked up some other things. It's just a really handy tactic, especially when you're first learning out. So for now, I'm just going to get rid of that, open this back up, get it daily. So cool. Let's go to, actually, don't have anything else actually to show you really, but does anyone want me to have a look at any coins in particular? Or in saying that, I heard someone at the start when we were talking, I can't remember who now, but someone had placed some trades or whatever. What coin did you trade? Because maybe we can go through and see, what exactly happened and, have a look. I think it was, I can't remember.
I'm going to have to go, Jared.
Oh, good, mate.
Thanks for the call so far. I'll definitely try and catch up again.
Yeah, too easy, mate.
Yeah, we just got to go hit the beach with the grandkids.
You're on holidays, mate. You can do what you want, mate.
Right. Catch ya.
See you, mate. Has anyone got any ideas on what coin I should look at? I'll look at it for you and do up my analysis.
Right, I'll jump in. How about XRP?
XRP. Okay.
I just had a short position that was playing out, but then ended up having a sharp turnaround, which stopped me out.
Yep.
Once you work your way down to sort of the 4 hour and the 1 hour, there was a little bearish pennant.
Yep.
When it broke,
a pretty crucial level at the moment. But yeah, let's go here. Know what that is. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, so it's coming up to a pretty crucial level at the moment. So, oh, this is what you're looking at. Hang on.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Looks a lot different on my chart there somehow.
Are you looking at OKX?
Yep.
You might be looking at a different XRP USDT
Yeah, that's fine.
perpetual. So I'm looking on the 1 hour. I'm not sure what you're looking on. So the moment, so we did have a level here that we were holding. So this level here, we can see that there was a lot of wicks here. And obviously you can visually see that to break through this level that we were holding, it actually needed quite a lot of volume. So that's, you know, visually seen by this massive red candle here, and obviously the volume bar down here. So that's usually not a good sign. I would probably, if I was to look at trading this, I would be waiting for the possible interaction back up at this level. Hang on 1 second, see the stage. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so I would be looking at this as a sort of volatile move, putting some fibs on that, and just seeing this as a retracement. You know, it doesn't look like a flag, but I'm drawing a flag. I'll just point that out there. Coming up to this level here, and then possibly you get a, you know, evening star, shooting star, bearish engulfing, something like that, something candlestick related. And then that's when I would consider entering a short. So we'll just go something like this, depending on how far the candles come and how the wicks go. It would depend on where my stop loss is. Where I would target personally, initially I would probably target this because it was a key level here. It saw a rejection here, and also when we broke through, we actually came through and tested it again. So I'll actually just label that 1 hour. So obviously cut it a bit short just to be conservative. So it looks something like that. So let's just get rid of this so you can see it better. Yeah, so that's what I'll be waiting for. Essentially waiting for the interaction at this level here. So hang on. So I'll just move that there. So I'm going to keep this as is, and then I'll put it in my recording, and then later on, maybe next week when I host the call again, we can look at some of the coins that I charted up now and to see what happened, you know, based on the charts and analysis that I did. So we'll actually look at this as well. So we can see a very similar situation here. It looked like a bit of a descending triangle that played out here. So let's just something like that. You had like a bit of a descending triangle sort of situation going on here.
Yeah, well, that's how I had it. I had it as that ascending triangle that had broken down, and then to me it looked like a bearish pennant hanging off the bottom of it. So I took it for another dip down after that.
You're not wrong in anticipating a dip down, but I think you might have been a little bit too early. That's just my thoughts. So you'd see here, it looks essentially pretty well the same. So if you were expecting that to happen on XRP, the USDT pair, like creep up to that level, that interaction level, and waiting to see what happens there. If you saw this sort of like the same thing here and like saw some rejection, or maybe we come up here, reject and move away, but Bitcoin moves up, moves the rest of the price up for the USDT pair, then that would actually be a very good indication that this short is actually going to play out, because Bitcoin would be covering for the XRP BTC trade, that pair. So that would actually be a good sign, but like I said, where it looks similar, so I would definitely be watching both in this instance. I wouldn't really be trading this. but we can look at potential levels. So we can see here it got tested a couple of times, and also as resistance, got tested once as support. So that's where I'm comfortable with drawing one level there. So let's do the same thing. Where is it? There. So yeah, that's XRP. So that's what I will be waiting for. Waiting for price to come up to here to see what happens at this level here, and then depending on what candlesticks we get, enter that trade, and that's where I would have my take profit down here at the levels that we've seen that was tested. Do you understand that, mate?
Yep. That's good.
I haven't been reading the chat. Oh. So, okay. Yeah, we'll do Sol next. So I'll just save this to make sure. We'll put that on a purple one. I don't like purple. Yellow. So here. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. So it looks like we've got a level here that has been respected on the weekly. Cool. Dropped into the daily. This looks kind of like a V-shaped recovery. We've seen a sharp drop down and then immediately broke all the previous highs that we had. So maybe made a new market structure, obviously. So since I'm looking at this as a volatile move, first thing I'm going to do is draw that. Next thing I'm going to do is actually draw in. So take any sort of support that we got here. Let's go back to the weekly real quick. Not on this chart, not on OKX, possibly on another exchange, but I'm not going to go into, not going to look at another exchange just yet. So there is a level here at the 618. So at the 618 level, it looks like it was the previous level that we couldn't break before we had that V shape. We almost come down to it now. So it's looking to me like this is a potential flag. It's not the best looking flag just because of like the what happened from this point to here was just like a bit of a consolidation. It wasn't really the best depiction of a bull flag, but they don't all have to look, you know, picture perfect for them to play out. You can just see them as long as you see it as volatile move, recovery, and just wait for the level, you know, wait for this, you know, in this case it was here, but say we come back down to the 618, you know, in some time here, just wait to see what happens here. Don't worry about exactly what price is doing, like up, down, up, oh, you're doing all this. Just wait till it hits those key levels that you've got, whether it's a support and resistance, whether it's a fib level, whatever it is, because not all price action is going to look all pretty. It's actually quite often that it doesn't look good at all. But you wait to those key levels, wait till you see what happens, the interaction at the key levels, and that's when you can, you know, think about entering the trade or thinking about what trade plan you're going to implement there. Let me just. So, with thinking about this as a, yeah, I don't think it's not really the best flag just because the first peak isn't that high, and it's obviously met that level here. Personally, I would be waiting. If this is going to be a bull flag, I would wait until this 618 level, or possibly wait for like a double bottom here potentially. So we might come back down to this level, and if we get, you know, a large hammer with a lot of volume or a bullish engulfing or something, maybe I would consider entering then. But apart from that, I would just be waiting for this level here. It was tested here all through this level. This 618 level up, that was something I'd be waiting for. So did you say you were in this trade or no, you didn't because you messaged. Jay, what were you looking at in this? Did you want to try and explain it as well? So something like,
Sorry, Joe, were you talking to me?
yeah, with this soul trade, is this similar to what you were looking at, or what were you like? How were you interpreting this?
Oh no, you were just asking before about.
Oh, you just wanted
spots.
you weren't okay, yeah.
Yeah. I just was one that I've got like in my bag. Just
Oh,
like
okay. That was
Yeah.
from before I was asking. Okay, well I just did
Yeah.
soul for you.
just a passing comment on there. Yeah.
All right. Well, has anyone got any other questions? Any other coins they want me to have a look at? I'll probably do 2 or 3
Actually, I
more.
was wondering if you trade gold a little bit, it might make sense. But if you want to look at the Pax Gold chart, Pax Gold USDT.
I do watch gold. I was looking at this is going to be a descending triangle, but with all the banks collapsing, it just went nut. I mean, before I look at anything, yeah, even from here, I can sort of see that it's going to look like a pennant, maybe a rising wedge, just from first glance. Let's just get rid of this level because it doesn't look like we're coming down. We've made a new high now. Got a double bottom right on that 382 fib level. Pretty nice. Let's go to the 4-hour. Okay. Yeah, so it's looking like some sort of rising wedge type deal. Something like that. Or maybe even a pennant. But I don't like how that level is, how that wick is so high. Like it's such a large wick. I don't generally like. What's it look like on the 1 hour? Yeah, okay, so it's a little bit better. Yeah. Maybe even that's where the move actually started. So let's just use that. Actually, what I will do actually, I will actually show you a better way to do trend lines. This is a little tip. What am I doing? Yeah, no, I need to do this first. So line chart. So I have line chart favorited here. That's why I can see it. Get your, wait till it comes up there, parallel channel. So this is where the moves, this is where that volatile move started. So here, before it went up and made new highs, that's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to try and match up as many levels as I can. So right now I can see 3 levels, 4 levels, about to be 5 because we're about to be at it. Just bring this, so double click, bring this down to whatever you want, flick back to the candles, and then bring this back down to cover the wicks. So that gives you the way we teach. So when we say, let's just say, I'll just draw this out real quick. So this is our support line, but there's candles that, you know, move up and about through like this. And then what we always say is draw a box. So let's just say like that. Like that, exactly similar how we do that. Because obviously not all support and resistance is a line. It's not how it works. It's generally a zone. The same can be drawn on trend lines. So angled diagonal lines. So I'll do the same thing up the top there. Just do the same process again. Line chart, parallel channel. Hit that. Hit those 2 levels. Bring it up to wherever. Come down. Let's do that. Do you even understand that? Neat little trick. Cool. So we're coming up to a decision point. Obviously, you can see where price is right now. Let's use this. So wait till we come down to this level closer, this trend line, and depending on whether we get volume come in and some bullish candles, we might be able to see the touch. So on this top side trend line again, up here. If you're going to trade this how I would personally do it is we'll see if it even fits my risk to reward. So my stop loss would be below this structure here with a little bit of leeway, so something like that. And I mean that's targeting like the max there, just in that's my risk to reward minimum, so that's 2, and that's right on that, right at the top there. So I probably wouldn't make to look this, you know, I probably wouldn't consider this trade just because it is cutting it very fine. But how I would trade it after, so if we pull up and we break through this, and then that's when we make a higher low or something using this previous levels, the previous levels here, then that's something I would trade there, and it would look something like this instead. Cool. So that's actually gold. That's gold, like CFD gold. So I'm assuming. Actually, let's have a look. Actually, I'm not actually quite sure. What's the actual ticket for it? Is it PAX? You said it'd be on Bitcoin. It'd be on what's it called? Binance. What are we actually looking like? What are we actually looking at? Is it? I'm confused. Oh, here. Yeah, that's right. This one. So yeah, it looks the same. Yeah. Let's just go back. Cool. Has anyone else got any other things I should look at? I might do probably one more. Anyone? They all speak at once.
Have you done Link?
No, but I will for you. Alright, I'm blind. Where is it?
I think I asked you to do that on
Yeah.
the last call too. Or that may have been Matt, but
It might have been me. Maybe it was when I done this. Let's have a look.
that looks like something.
Yeah, it was probably nah, it can't have been this. Nah.
4-hour chart would that have been about a week ago? No.
Oh, I didn't do a call last week. So it can't have been. So let's hang on, let's go to the weekly. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. Well, it's held up really well. Actually, yeah, you can see that in here because a lot of altcoins have. They probably look the same here. It got to here and then just. But seeing that this one, that Link has actually held up and maintained this same level for, you know, quite a reasonable amount of time. That's last year, last year. So that's actually pretty good to see. That to me tells me that Link has a lot of stuff going for it. A lot of people must like Link and like what it does because there's no amount of faith that there's a lot of altcoins out there that people have faith in it, but it's just gone and done this. It's like, oh, this, they've got all this faith into coin, but that's what it's done. It just, to me, when I see that, it's just like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. But if someone to me was like, oh yeah, Link's really good, like, and me looking at this chart, I believe you because it's held up really well in this whole for this whole situation that Bitcoin's been in. Bitcoin's been trending down for quite some time. This has actually been quite steady, so that's actually really good to see for an altcoin, anyways. It's a bit choppy, but consolidation periods are always like that. Yeah, it's just in a really big consolidation, really. Like, that's all I can really see. we might be looking at a pattern coming here. This level likes to be interacted with here. Possibly kind of an ascending triangle. I don't really like it too much. Purely for the fact that this wasn't really a strong move. I like when I see, so let me just get out the triangle. Where is it? So and move it the other way. So when hang on. So when price is moving, up like this, that's what I mean. And then you've got that resistance. So when the trend is moving up, I like to see the volatile move. So I like to see. So I'll show you what it's done here. So here this should have been this move here should have been the one that touched here. The fact that we had to go up and bounce around for a little bit and then all this happened, I don't really like that. I like when I'm looking at a ascending triangle, I like to see very strong move, higher low, strong move, higher low, strong move, and then that's when you can potentially see that breakout, retest, and then continuation. But obviously you can see here it's sort of floated around. It really, I would have like, for me to consider this a really good ascending triangle. I'll just get rid of this because I just explained it anyway. I would have really loved to see that this volatile move here just to go straight to this resistance level, find resistance here, and then continually make high lows. But that didn't happen. So, but in saying that, it still doesn't look the worst. We need to see if this level is actually going to hold. So we've seen a little bit of a rejection. That's not the biggest rejection. So it's looking possible that we come back up again, maybe possibly get a double top before we come back down and possibly see this trend again. And once we see this trend, we can then confirm whether it is valid or not, based on some candlesticks that happen. Because obviously the trend line isn't valid until you get 3 touches, and that would be the 3rd touch. So that's my analysis on Link. So like I said, we've pushed up to this same resistance level that's been holding us down. That is obviously have been an interaction level in the past. So it's a level that I like. I'm just going to put this as a 4-hour. That's what it is. But we hit the resistance and we didn't really reject from it, but we sort of just like consolidated down a little bit. So like I said, if we come back up again and then get that heavy rejection, like that's when we get that bearish engulfing evening star type deal. Then if we were to see that, then it would look likely that we might see this trend again. And then if we were to see this trend, the trade would actually be a very excellent risk to reward, because let's just say this is just my expectations, like what it would look like. So the reason why I exactly done it like this is because I'll just do this. So if this was the neckline, because I'm just thinking ahead. So one thing I do is I always try and think ahead. And so the way that I've done this is, if this was going to be the double top, this is my expectations. Let's just say it's a double top. This is the neckline. Come up, test the neckline, break through, and then come back up to test the neckline as resistance. That's why I've done it like that. And then come back down to this the trend line here to see if the trend line is valid or not. So if we were to come back down to this level, my stop could be actually really tight. So my stop might even just be the candlesticks. So we might get a wick that comes down to, just where my stop is right now. So maybe a little bit more than that. And then I would actually target this level, one of these levels up here, probably here. So it's actually going to be like a 3.5, because this would be the previous structure. So in my trading plan, my stop would only have to be under here. So I could have a reasonably tight top in this situation. So I'll just leave this here. This is probably so like I said before, I like drawing stuff and trying to see how it's played out over the time. So that's my expectation was what could happen. So let's have a look. So that's Thursday this week. So let's just say Thursday this week, I'm gonna set an alarm on the phone to say, hey, look at link. That's it. Come on, look at link, see what happens. Yeah. Alrighty. So has anyone else got any other points that we're going to look at? Well, first of all, who asked me to do link?
That was me.
What
John.
have you done your analysis on it, or do you just want me to have a look at it? What were you seeing?
I'd have to
essentially?
pop off here and see. 'Cause I'm on the computer I use for my analysis right now.
Yeah.
Let me return to that in a sec. I can check here.
Yeah, sure. Anyone else got any other coins that we're going to look at? Actually,
Hey Jared, how are
g'day, mate. How are you?
you? Not too bad. GRT.
You say GRT?
GRT, yeah.
Jared, it's Jay. I've got to take off, mate, but thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Too easy, mate.
Okay, cheers. Bye.
See you, mate. GRT. This looks exactly like what it had before. What was it?
The reason I like it is on the BTC pairing as well as the USD pair. It's coming down to support in a descending triangle.
Yep.
Of both. And it could be pretty juicy when it pops.
Oh, I actually do like that when you get a pattern that does that. We'll do this first. So yeah, so man, it's actually done a massive run from what is that? Yeah, this year, really, this whole year, it's been going crazy. What are we looking at? Are we looking at the 4 hour, Andrew?
Daily and 4 hour, yeah.
Daily and 4 hour, yeah. So this level that I have here is the weekly, but it's obviously it looks like it's the daily as well. I'm actually comfortable with that level. I could draw a box on it, but I can interpret the data without having the box there, and having the box there just adds more stuff on my screen that I don't need. But if I was to draw a box, this is where I'd draw it. Just for the people who were wondering. But I don't need it. So yeah, at the moment, we are holding this level, this current weekly level. So obviously we got this resistance up here where we got absolutely hammered with. So I would just say that the daily. And this is our previously held support. So I'll just copy that straight there like that. Cool, let's go to 4 hour. All right, cool. So this looks like a fib level that played out. Yep, 618 perfectly. So really, so actually, where did it actually come to? Did it come to the 2-3 sheets yet? No. So we saw that a pretty originally strong move, volatile move, like an impulsive move up, come back down to the 618 and tested it. You can see now that the importance of fib, because right now we're bouncing between 2 levels, the 50 and the 302. If we were to break above the 302, one, it'd be a good sign because obviously the 302, getting above that 302 means that we could possibly see further fib levels, and 2, obviously, is because we would actually make new market structure. So it would actually be a new higher high, which would be bullish again. So just 2 elements that you can add in to confirm that your analysis is correct. I don't know if you're already in this trade or not, or what are you looking at, Andrew?
Just keeping an eye on it for the larger picture. I'll just
Yeah,
use
yeah.
any triangles.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's done really well this whole year, essentially. And you said that well, look at that now. Actually, no, I'll show you what I would expect. So on the 4 hour, it looks like we've hit the 618 and kind of done like a bit of a bull flag type deal. I would wait until we see one of these levels break. So the 50 or the 382. And either or could depend on which way we move. So if we break above this 382, the next level I would be looking at is this 236. But if we break below the 50, it looks like we have a lot of potential buying pressure here because we got this weekly level as well as the 618 again, which is where some orders are probably still sitting. But for the moment, that's how I wouldn't be looking at trades anytime right now. But if those levels were to change, if the price action was to get outside these two levels here, then I would come back and have a look. But you said, hang on, we look at you said something about the BTC pair as well. Oh yeah, it's looking like it's possibly going to be coming to a 618. No, 618 score on 786. So that's another 88. That's that is actually looking like a decent level too. This is like the last resort, the last hope for this run here that is going on against BTC, which is on the daily. Okay, so before I delete this. Right, yeah, so we've got a ways to come down to see if this level will hold this daily level here. That's 5%. It's done really like that run. I don't know what happened here, but that's unreal. That run in a couple of days.
I wish I knew about the coin back then.
Yeah, that was what start of this year. But that was what fueled the pump or fueled the run for because obviously you can see here we went from let's do the percentage. Literally the 1st of February to the set like a week, and we did 164%. But if you go back here and see 1st of February, wherever that is, 1st of Feb, with Bitcoin's price action, you can see that it's obviously amplified it further. That's 200 something percent. So had you have been looking back then and seen, massive green candles on GRT, you could have been like, okay,
Morningstar.
Yeah, exactly. You could have been like, oh, hang on, let me mark this and see what happens.
Let me check this on his NX and get a rooster.
And that's it, eh? But yeah, at the moment, I would probably be waiting for one of those levels to break. But for now, yeah, nothing that I'm looking at.
Hey, did you see Mick's post in the group chat?
Yeah. What Mick's post?
In the group chat, yeah, he was just asking about
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to. I did see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see. He messaged me directly on Zoom as well. I'll bring that up with Matt just to see what we can do about it. I'm not really sure, but yeah. All right, so quickly, I'm going to go through the new website very quickly because we're showcasing it tomorrow, and I'm not going to take away from that at all. So this is our new platform. It's literally. I'll stop the recording. Let me just get rid of this real quick. How do I stop this recording? Here we go. All right. So I was going to showcase the website a little bit. It's literally going to be like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, just to show you guys what to expect, right? So I'm going to give you a little bit of background. What the boys wanted to do essentially is make a Facebook type social media platform, but purely for trading, crypto, education, personal development. Right, that's it. They just wanted a social media. It's their own social media platform that does those 4 things. It works exactly like a trading, like a Facebook would. It's got group chats. It's got all that sort of stuff. It's got groups, everything like that. It's got course content for our courses, and it's got news, everything like that. But I was going to give you like 15-20 seconds of what it looks like, and then come tomorrow, you can have a look yourself, and it will be released to the public. Let me just share this again. All right, this is what it looks like. You have a feed, like you have to be on Facebook feed. You have your research, your groups, your education. All our calls are going to be online, and you got a lot of our resources here. A lot of stuff that's been added into the page. Like we have our own economic calendar here. We have TradingView implemented in as well, and you have your own profile where you can post on your own profile. You can post from your profile into groups. But essentially, they've made it so I'm sharing that. Yes, but essentially they've made it so it's a social media platform for crypto trading, personal development, and just really just a community. Essentially, what Empire, the public chat in, or the public group in on Facebook, but they've sort of moved away from Facebook because there's a lot of restrictions within Facebook, and their system doesn't really open us up for very much. So that's why they sort of created their own thing, and obviously the boys have put in an unreal amount of work. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get on call tomorrow and see how exactly they're gonna present it, because yeah, it's gonna be massive, and it's gonna be awesome. So who here is coming along tomorrow? Has everyone got an invite? Does everyone know about the event?
Yeah, I know about it. I was planning on attending. I don't know if I've got an invite though.
I'll post this again. I posted it earlier. I'm not sure if you were here earlier, but I'll post it in again. Here is the link for the event. So just register your interest through that. So you're going, it'll tell you everything about it, what time. But yeah, come along. We're publicly launching. We're gonna have a free side to the website. Obviously, there's, like always, even in Empire right now on Facebook, we have the free site with our free group where anyone can post anything, and about anything to do with crypto trading, anything like that. And obviously we have the crypto chats, but we also have different access for the people who are learning to trade with us, and also we had a personal development side of things as well. But register along, and we'd love to see you out there. We're trying to get as many people as we can, and the more every person that we can get along is going to be better off after the boys release it. Alrighty, well, that's everything I was planning on talking. I'm gonna have to talk to Matt about a few things, but has anyone got any more questions?
Yeah, I'm just curious about, are you going to be able to link to your profile like live trading view charts? So if you've done your analysis, are people going to be able to watch that play out in real time sort of thing?
Yeah. So it's essentially exactly the same as Facebook. You can put charts on a post it, and then other people can come on, comment. All the calls are going to be actually on the website, like implemented in the website. There's notifications when people go live. Like the way that it's all set up is going to be phenomenal. As it's literally crazy. I've seen a lot of what the boys have actually put in. Really, I just all I want to say is just come along Monday and just strap yourself in or something. I guess it's gonna be crazy.
Awesome.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks to Frank for coming. I think we had like 10 people at one point. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I'll see you all next week. Possibly actually, because next week's Easter, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I would be willing to do it, but I feel like a lot of people would be doing stuff with their families.
Yeah, Easter Sunday.
I would be willing to do it, but a lot of people, yeah, like I said, they'd probably be doing family related stuff. So I'll see. I'll see
Maybe
how
an
I'll see how
evening?
it goes. I'll see
Maybe.
how it goes. I'll see what happens. I'll
Yeah.
see what the vibe is like. Probably on Friday or something. If I get enough interest, I'd consider doing it for people again. But yeah, until then, thanks, guys.
All right. See you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks,
man.
Jared.